Hi, Maureen Muldoon here, and we're doing lesson 99 with the Course in Miracles, the workbook lessons. Salvation is my only function here. Salvation and forgiveness are the same. They both imply that something has gone wrong, something to be saved from, to forgiven for, something amiss that needs corrective change, something apart or different from the will of God. Thus do both terms imply a thing impossible, but yet which has occurred, resulting in a state of conflict seen between what is and what could never be. Truth and illusion both are equal now, for both have happened. The impossible becomes the thing you need forgiveness for, salvation from. Salvation now becomes the borderline between the truth and illusion. It reflects the truth because it is the means by which you can escape illusion, yet it is not yet the truth because it undoes what was never done. So, when we think about, that we're looking for our salvation or our peace or our forgiveness, we're looking for a road out of the illusion. And in the state of grace, in the state of God's love, there is no need for peace or forgiveness because everything is already well and good. So how could there be a meeting place at all where earth and heaven can be reconciled within a mind which both of them exists? The mind that sees illusions thinks them real. They have existence in that they are thoughts, and yet they are not real because the mind that thinks these thoughts is separate from God. So when we think these thoughts of crucifixion or condemnation or judgment, we're not thinking with God. We're thinking of something in the past or something in the future. This is the day the Lord has made for us to rejoice and be glad. The only role we have to play is to rejoice and be glad. When we start picking up other roles of, I'll be the judger, or I'll be the crucifier, or I'll be, the complainer, I'll be whatever the fuck we want to play besides the role that we're given to play, we start to get into muddy waters. Yes, I did just use the F word, but I forgive myself. What joins the separated mind and the thoughts with mind and thought which are forever one? What plan could hold the truth inviolate, yet recognize the need illusion brings and offer means by which they are undone without attack and with no touch of pain? What but a thought of God could be this plan, by which the never done is overlooked and sins forgotten which were never real? The Holy Spirit holds this plan of God exactly as it was received of Him within the mind of God and in your own. It is apart from time in that its source is timeless, yet it operates in time because of your belief that time is real. Unshaken does the Holy Spirit look on what you see, on sin and pain and death, on grief and separation and on loss. Yet does He know one thing that must still be true. God is still love, and this is not God's will. So, it's like Jesus, was in the world but not of the world, and He could look at the leper and say, this is not you. This sickness, this separation, this fear, this judgment, this is not you. I see only God. We could do that too, because we've been told that this and greater things shall you do, so we're capable of this. This is the thought that brings illusion to the truth and sees them as appearances behind which is the changeless and the sure. This is the thought that saves and that forgives, because it lays no faith in what is not created by the only source it knows. This is the thought whose function is to save by giving you its function as your own. Salvation is your function, with the one to whom the plan was given. Now are you entrusted with this plan along with Him. He has one answer to appearances, regardless of their form, their size, their depth, or any attributes they seem to have. Salvation is my only function here. God still is love, and this is not His will. So imagine being able to say that to everything that, ruffles your feathers or threatens to steal your peace of mind. Imagine saying to those illusions, my only function is salvation, my only function is peace, and God is love, and this is not His will. So I can remain patient to know that, this will shift and change again. But through all the shifting and changing of the illusion, I can stand firm on my faith. It goes on to say, you who will yet work miracles, be sure you practice well the idea for today. And what is a miracle worker? Someone who extends love over fear. Try to perceive the strength in what you say. Try to perceive the strength in what you say. Salvation is my only function here. God still is love. This is not his will. For these are words in which your freedom lies. Your Father loves you. All the world of pain is not his will. Forgive yourself the thought he wanted this for you. Forgive yourself the thought that God wanted pain for you. Forgive yourself that thought. That's just a thought that needs to be eradicated. Forgive yourself the thought he wanted this for you. And then let the thought with which he has replaced all your mistakes enter the darkened place of your mind. That thought, the thought that never were his will. This part belongs to God, as does the rest. It does not think its solitary thoughts and make them real by hiding them from him. Let in the light, and you will look upon no obstacle to what his will is for you. Open your secrets to his kindly light and see how bright this light will still shine in you. So, it's just saying, let God in, let the light in. We're only as sick as our secrets, and there's nothing that you could have ever done or thought or anything that could separate you from your source. Nothing can get in the way of God's love for you. That's the truth and the whole truth. It goes on to say, practice his thoughts today and let his light seek out and lighten up all darkened spots and shine through them to join them to the rest. It is God's will your mind be one with him. It is God's will that he has but one son. It is God's will that his one son is you. See, we're all one. We're all one in the sonship. And that's why it's important for us to love each other. Course Miracles 101. Be nice. And if you look in the back of the book, there's actual characteristics of a good teacher of God. And one of them is gentleness, joy, tolerance, open-mindedness. God forbid we take on these true attributes of a good teacher of God, because this is who we really are. So think of these things in practicing today and start the lessons that we learned today with the instructions in the way of truth. Salvation is my only function here. Salvation and forgiveness are one. And then turn to him who shares your function here and let him teach you what you need to learn to lay aside fears. To lay all fears aside and know yourself, capital S, as love which has no opposite in you. Forgive all thoughts which would oppose the truth of your completion, unity, and peace. So forgive all thoughts that would get in the way of your own truth and unity and peace. You cannot lose the gifts your Father gave you. You do not want to be another self. You have no function that is not of God. Forgive yourself and the one you think you made. Forgiveness and salvation are the same. Forgive what you have made, and you are saved. Saved from what? Saved from the illusion. Saved from disharmony. Saved from taking things too seriously. Saved from a lack of peace of mind. So basically we're giving up nothing for everything, and as we continue to recognize that our only function is forgiveness, and forgiveness means basically letting it go. I know that it's so hard. The idea of letting it go is so hard. We carry around these crucifixions and we feel righteous about, what he did and what she said and how we have to hold up that story for forever. And it's exhausting. And we cannot go out and save the world, but we can clean our side of the sidewalk up by making ourselves intolerant of our own crucifixions. Hopefully we will all get to the point where we just never pick up another crucifixion, because we actually are not capable of carrying a crucifixion. Our bodies will show us dis-ease when we pick up crucifixions and judgments and envy and all of that other stuff. So so we're walking to it together, though. That's the good news. We're walking to it together, and we will see salvation, and we will see peace, and we will see and be in free love. And those aren't just words. That's a possibility for all of us. So thanks for staying the course today. And if you like this lesson, you can go ahead and subscribe so you never have to miss one. And you can pass it along to your friends. And if you want more tips and tools on miracles, you can go over to maureenmuldoon.com and sign up for my newsletter. Thanks for staying the course.
Just another